Today, let's go. I am doing a mixed breakdown for Team Salute. The song is called I'm Busy. This is the song, I'm Busy, by Team Salute. We're gonna break down everything from start to finish. Vocals, drums, effect, everything. Everything you need to know. So without further ado, let's get into this mixed breakdown. Team Salute, what's good? All right, we about to pull up the session. Well, it's already pulled up. This is how I like to set my sessions up. Master at the top. This is where I'll do all of my prints, acapella, TV track or performance track, different stems, all that kind of stuff. And I also have the reference here too, so I can A-B with the rough very easy. I can just hit I and A-B, or shift I really, but I've shortened the shortcut to I, and I can listen to my mix versus the reference. And then these are things that I can use for print and stem. So if I mute this, it'll be only the acapella. These VCAs are connected and it mutes the entire 2-track or the entire instrumental. If I mute this, it'll mute all of the vocals and be instrumental. So I can just go down the line and like put this on loop and just blah blah blah, and it'll drop each one down in each menu, and then I could just rename it and it would be good to go, and I could just send all those off really easy. Then this is my pre-master, which is basically a mix bus. Then this is the instrumental music bus, music effects bus, drums bus, clap and snare bus, perks, drum effects, kick and bass, vocals, lead vocals, background vocals, vocal effects. I like to just have everything as separated as possible for as much control as possible. I may not use the usability for all of these, but I like to have it there just in case I want to or need to. And these are my color schemes. With music, I like it to be red if there's a lot of stuff. If there's a bunch of strings, then I might do the strings yellow. If there's a lot of guitars, I might do the guitars orange. If there's a bunch of synths, maybe I'll do them different shades of red or add some pink or purple in there. The tag is usually this kind of like pinkish purplish color. I don't know why, but I like the kick to be this purple color and the bass to be blue. If it's a live bass, I usually make it brown, but that depends. Sometimes I'll make it blue too. This is like a side chain, you know, I'll just duplicate the kick. But sometimes you might, just to make the side chain just a little bit more efficient, I may slide this over to the left just a little bit. It kind of acts like a look ahead. Drums are green. And then these are like effects that I'll add to random things in the music. I just call it crazy work. I don't know. I like to have fun and be weird. So, and then these are my VCAs for the vocals. The same with these VCAs up here that will allow me to listen to the acapella, instrumental, blah, blah, blah. In this case, I can hit S and I can solo the entire instrumental like that, or I can hit S and I'll solo all the music. Everything else in the session will be muted. So I mix like that often. I'll mix in groups in a way. For this song specifically, I most likely started with the kick and the bass, but I'll oftentimes solo the lead vocals with the drums and the kick and the bass and stuff like that, just to get that balance going first, so I can do that really easily and mix in groups. So I'm always mixing in relation to something else, and I'm not just like mixing randomly with no relationship to anything. But there's that. Then all my lead vocals are purple. If it's ladies, I usually make their lead vocals pink. And then these like auxes are this teal color. These parallel tracks are this orange, orange green color. But that's just the stock, like the Pro Tools color that this comes up as, and I just don't mind that, so that's cool. Then these are like some more effects that I'll do for vocals. This is nasty work or whatever. These are my, lead vocal effects. Then ad-libs are this pinkish kind of color. And this is the aux for that, some effects on that. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever, right? We're talking about everything. So let's get into it. All right, so how I would have started this mix off, I'm going to bypass everything. So we'll bypass all of this stuff. I have not looked at this session, so I don't really know. These plugins, I believe, were their plugins, so we're going to leave those active. I think I might have did that. I don't know. I don't really remember. So in this case, I would start off with the kick and the bass. So what I would do is just solo that, and let's listen to the kick and bass. Let's listen to, I guess we should listen to the song. Dang, that's probably what we should do first. We should probably listen to like the song, listen to the reference, the rough. Here it is.
Just text, don't call me. I'm busy. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
Wind up your body now, Boko. Wind up your body now. Wind up your body now. Wind up your body now. Wind up, Boko.
I can't deny this.
So that's kind of like the vibe of the rough. They are really good at what they do. So the vibe is already there. The production is fire. Like everything is there. You feel me? I think in the rough or the reference, it was just very crowded in a particular area. And it kind of, this is obviously a song that you want to dance to, you want to groove to. Like, and for you, and to do that, you want to have a little bit of space, a little movement. I don't know. I'm kind of, this is how I think about stuff. So it's just a little crowded in the area of where I want to move and dance in. So that was the first thing I was hearing, and that's one reason why I probably went. I'm actually going to do this for y'all. Why I probably went to the low end first, because that's foundational to this record. That's very important. So I just started with the low end, and I will loop. Let's loop like maybe this, and let's make sure. Okay, cool.
Just text me. Don't call me.
This is everything bypass, right? That's what we sounded like. So I'm gonna start with the low end. So I'm going to solo the kick and bass. Let me bypass both of those. So there's a vibe there, there's a dance, there's a groove there, and all of that, right? But I need to feel that. I need to move with it. You feel me? And like, if this is played in a club, the air needs to move in the room, so it makes the people move. So off rip, I think they had this on. I think I bypassed that. I'm pretty sure I bypassed that, and I'm pretty sure I bypassed that too. But I see what they were doing here. So I did it with this plugin from MIG-DSP, the BLB, which is basically like the voice of God, and it does something similar to this move, but I personally, I don't know, I just like how it sounds better. So let's A/B that. Let's just have it with the kick playing. Very subtle, nothing crazy, but it's more of a directed low end. And then I'm adding this LTL silver on here. And that's giving me like that energy. So if y'all don't use this, this is a fire plugin, but it's basically, to my knowledge, supposed to be modeling a SSL 4000 and how you can hit the console and you get a certain type of clipping and a certain type of distortion. Like if you go through and you read all of this, it'll tell you all of that stuff. But I'm using the Hitmaker 4000 setting. They have other ones here, like whatever all of these other ones are. I guess I could click here, whatever. They have all these other ones. I like this Hitmaker 4000 one personally, and some of these other ones are very cool and creative as well. But this is a very cool plugin for that type of vibe. So I'm using that on the kick. You know, it's pretty known. A lot of people who mixed on consoles back then, they would hit the console for a certain type of sound. It's kind of gives me a little bit of that. So that's all I'm doing. So I'll A/B that one more time. You can hear that presence that it gives it in this. It's just a different type of low end and feel to the kick that it gives it. And now we're going with Smack Attack. Kind of doing a lot to this kick, but very subtly in certain ways. So now that I've done that, I want to create my own type of envelope for the kick so that the transient comes through as well. That's probably like the biggest difference. As you can see, we're getting a little crazy. We're starting to, you know, hit a little yellows and whatever, but you know, whatever. Nobody cares. It feels good. And then this is sometimes something that I will do. I won't do this often, but I will sometimes couple Smack Attack with this transient designer from Slate, because you can focus the transient in a way that's kind of cool. And I think they work well together sometimes. So I use this probably a little bit. I don't know how much I did with this. Just very subtle, you know what I'm saying? Like focusing where the sustain is and just, I don't know, but just play around with the knobs until it sounds good, till it feels good. And then at the end of this, I am clipping it so that I can get the transient that I want, but it could still be loud if it's desired for the song to be loud, but you still don't lose as much of that punch, as much of the transient and the low end energy that you want. And you can find the sweet spot of when it's distorting audibly too much and to where it's still hitting in the way that you want it to hit. You could just play around with this and find that balance. I didn't have to go too crazy, probably because of there's some clipping going on with this as well, and whatever. But this is something that I do often if that is what people want. They want it to be loud, because if you want your song to be loud, obviously the low end is the first thing that's going to eat up a lot of headroom. So you kind of have to figure out how you're going to make that work in the low end. So let's A/B that. That's around a dB of clipping. And this is something too, is I'm doing this in step by step, which is a gift and curse of doing these mixed breakdowns. Like, you'll see a lot of stuff, but I'm always going back and revisiting and tweaking and like doing things into things. You know, I'm adjusting the transient designer into the clipper and all of that, you know. So it's not just I'm stepping this out. I wouldn't have mixed it this way. I might have done certain things on the kick and then went to something else and been like, oh, that kick's still not doing what I want it to do, and then came back. And then lastly, just subtly EQing. Maybe it's just very subtle stuff that nobody probably cares about, but it's a little bit on the low end, really trying to tighten that up a little bit. There's a little area right here that I wasn't really feeling that much, poking out some 370 and relaxing the top end just a little bit. Sometimes when you relax the top end, especially on kicks, I find a lot of kicks, they are competing with the vocal and competing with things that need to be in the center, but that kick still needs to be loud and in that position relative to the vocal. And if you shelve off or roll off some top end, you still get that energy and that positioning of the kick, but it's not clouding the vocal, and the vocal can still have all of that energy up there. Sometimes I'll do that with snares as well, and sometimes it's just a volume thing, but sometimes it's a EQ thing as well. So you kind of have to play with that, but I'll A/B this as well. It just gets cleaned up a little bit. We'll bring this parallel in. So I'm doing classic DBX 160. Looks like, I don't know what I'm doing here. What's going on here? We're doing some DBX 160 compression, and again adding some low end, some whatever 24. I like EQing this way personally because I don't know what the frequency is exactly, and I have to listen. You feel me? So I like EQing a lot in parallel, but also I'm getting a more consistent thud in a envelope of thud and punch that I like for this sound, and I'm adding that back in. So we're probably gonna get a lot of low end come back in here. Maybe not. We'll see. Good amount of low end coming back in right there. So that's the kick. Oh, and then that would be the side chain. Whatever, right? And so then I'm going to go to that bass because I'm trying to find this kick and bass relationship. I want them, this is so foundational to the record. Like, this is the sound of the record, you know? So I really have to pay attention to how that feels. So let's bring the bass in. I think I bypassed that as well. I must have added this micro shift, which is fascinating. I don't know why. Just wanted a subtle bit of width on the bass, I suppose. And then we have some parallels. So I don't really know what order I would have done this in. I don't even know if, sometimes I forget what I did and what they did. But let's start with our bass. Let's start with this and then we'll add the parallels in. So we got our bass. Obviously you hear that fullness coming in, and then we're EQing it, we're tightening it up, we're really like focusing where that frequency is going to be enhanced in this bass, so we hear it as well, but I also want to make sure we feel it. So that's probably why I have these parallel situations going on. Like, if you listen, you see how the kick is a little muffed and a little clouded by the bass. I want them to live and work together and dance together, you know, kind of like they're doing their own dance in the song, as well as you want people to do their own dance to the song. So I'm using EQ and volume to figure out how they're going to dance together, and then I'm using soothe to sidechain off of this kick right here. That that kick just clearly comes through punching like crazy. I usually don't always do 100% on the mix, but for this song, that's what it felt like. So we did that. And there's a trim situation going on here. I've turned the bass up 12 dB. Fascinating. I don't know if I did that or not. That's crazy. Maybe I did. Okay, let's go to these parallels real quick. I should listen to the actual mix to make sure I did that, because I don't even know. This is something too about when I mix, I just kind of go off into the playground is what I call it, and I just have fun. I just do what I do. I just don't really think about anything. I just kind of just vibe and create, and I just listen to the music. So I don't know if I did that or not.
Left foot, right foot.
Oh, definitely sounds like I did that. Definitely sounds like I did that. Okay, well, that's what needed to happen, I guess. Okay, so then we have these parallels, so I'll mute that for now. And we have this bass effects parallel as well. So the first one, we got low sub, mid, gur, some growl right there. So let's start off with the growl one. Let's mute this, and we'll bring this one in. I'm layering into this bass because we really this is very important. We really need this. And what I'm doing is I'm using air distortion, like a stock plug-in from Pro Tools. It has some very cool distortion. I like using this on basses and drums a lot. And then we're using the MV2 to really squeeze it and not have it move around too much. I just want that consistent energy in that bass for that part. And then these are the frequencies that I am adding back in. Yep, that one to that one. And I'm also automating this. We're gonna talk about automation in the end, but in certain sections of the song, I'm automating the growl up a little bit more. We're going to talk about automation towards the end of the video, but that's very important, especially for all songs. But for this song specifically, there are moments that pop out and they have certain type of energy, you know, and we need to translate that with automation. Onye, what's good? How you doing? We still early. You had a good time. We're just getting into it. All right, now we got the low sub, the low end of this bass, because again, I want that to work with the kick, and you want to feel this. Hear that low end just get filled out under the sub, and how it works with the kick. Like, that's just all I needed. I'm doing, you know, decapitator. This is more for the grittiness of that low end, but also a little bit of control before I go into MV2. Like, I'm going to squeeze it with MV2, but when you distort things, you're obviously like chopping off peaks and stuff like that. So if there's any notes that are excessive in the low end, you can get a little bit of those chopped off by using some distortion on the low end as well. And then it's not going to have like a turning down effect or a sandwich effect. It's still going to like push, but it's not going to like resonate push, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense at all. I'm not using the MV2. Okay, it's just there. I don't know why it's there. Maybe I thought I was going to use it and I didn't. And then I'm using this 185. That's what I'm adding back in. We'll A-B that. There you go. And again, you see, this is kind of crazy. But again, I wasn't looking at the meters. I didn't hear nothing sound crazy, so I just kept going. And I did correct this at some point. As you can see on my kick and bass bus, I'm turning this down 10 dB. So I kind of was listening to this in solo to start off, and I was just really feeling the music. I was really just like, you know, going crazy with the low end of this record. And then I realized I was going too crazy, so I turned it down 10 dB. Shane, what's good? Looking forward to seeing those videos, my guy, from the new sponsorship. But I miss you as well, my guy, man. You got to come back to Cali, or I got to come to Mississippi, man. One or the other. That is the main bass parts. Oh, I forgot this bass effects. I'll play that too. That's just what I like to call a little dance. When you have certain records, they move this. Let me situate myself. They have, I don't even know how to explain it. I felt like the bass just needed a little dance. That's all. And so I'm using this to create that. It's a subtle feel thing, something you probably don't even hear at all, but I think you feel it or you sense it, and it just makes you groove. Let's A-B it, and then I'll go through the plugins. just subtly. It's just subtle little things playing with your ear, you know, left and right. Excuse me. So I did that. I just, you know, rolled off some stuff with the Renaissance EQ, lo-fi'd it to make it a little darker, a little slight saturation, and super tap. Super tap is fire. I use super tap quite a lot, but you can really place the delay where you want to place the delay, and you can get really creative with this. So I use that for this, so I can do that with these delays. And then I'm using reverb a little bit on it, 36% on the wet plate. When it comes to reverbs, I kind of just play around with the settings until I get what I like. And I'm using RVox to compress it, to keep it steady. This is not something that I want to like pop out of the mix too much. I just want a little dance. You feel me? That's all. And then we got Pro Q. These are the frequencies that I want to add back in. And again, when I'm doing these types of things, when I'm doing anything, but especially when I'm adding in effects, I'm adding in another sound to the project or to the song. So I want to make sure that this works with the song. I don't want to add muddiness to something that's not supposed to be muddy. So I'm making sure I'm adding the right frequencies, or the frequencies that I like, back in, and not having the ones that I don't think I need. And then a little bit of meta flanger on it, and side widener, one of my favorite wideners from JST, and 55% on the classic extreme. All these modes sound a little different, but they're very cool. So that's what I'm doing on the bass. Okay, so we're gonna talk about these other bass sounds since we're on the bass. We got this bass fall. Yeah, like if you don't have a sub, you probably can't even hear that. Kind of crazy. But on this, we have SSL, and what am I doing? Oh, I'm turning it up. 18 dB into SSL, whatever. Right? I don't know, whatever. I turned it up into the SSL. Again, this is something that, and then I've turned it down right here. So, hey, this is, again, something that people used to do. Like, you can, I want to go in depth on this. Maybe I'll do this on the YouTube membership. But if you drive this SSL plugin, you get more harmonics. It's going to kind of give you a clipping sound. It's trying to kind of emulate that board clipping sound, but this other plugin does that way better to me. This plugin does that the best out of all plugins that I've tried that with so far. But this one does have a sound when you do it as well. When you start getting in the yellow and in the red, you kind of get that sound. So I'm using that on this sub bass fall, so you get a bit of those harmonics. But then I'm also using, again, this 6060 Ultimate Module Collection from Mic DSP. Mic DSP got some good plugins, but I ain't gonna lie, I don't really use that many of them except for the BLB and Futzbox. But this BLB is crazy. It's literally like the voice of God's brother or something. You hear that going crazy. So we went from this, you hear it, to this. Yeah, important. And you see we in red. Don't worry about it. And I'm also turning it up here as well, it seems, maybe. I don't know. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm tripping. But yeah, it's okay. We turn it up. And then I'm using, again, the side chain. The kick hits. We get that situation as well. It still shines through, and it's not being clouded by the bass fall. Do you use Shaperbox 3? Not really. It's low-key sleek for effects. Maybe I'll try it then. I do have Shaperbox 3. I have it on my master because I can look at the waveforms of things when I kind of want to do that kind of stuff, but I don't really use it that much. But now that you say that, I'll check it out more in depth. And then we have another bass part that comes right here. You see I've turned that up 7.5 dB. And then what have I done here? I've just done some EQ. I'm boosting some 1K, cutting 300, turning down some 130. Just a little bit of EQ on it. A bit of compression as well with the SSL channel strip. And I am turning this up a lot, interestingly enough. That's very interesting. Again, I just be doing stuff. And this is not a part to where, like, this other sound, this is very important right here, what I'm about to say. So, because I hear this is like one of the biggest problems, well, maybe not problems, but these are one of the biggest things that I address in mixes, is for this bass, and they are great at producing, so this wasn't like a serious thing. I didn't have to do this that much, but there will be so many things competing for the low end energy and nothing driving the low end energy. And it's hard to really feel low end if everything is like rumbling in the low end. You don't really have, it's just one of those zones like in this area to where something kind of needs to drive it a little bit, unless you want that kind of warbly, muddled, low end sound, which can be cool for certain songs and like aesthetics and stuff. But for this type of song, it's like it's telling you to dance. So you kind of need that low end foundation to dance with you and like direct you. And when you have multiple things going on in the low end or in any frequency spectrum, usually there's something that you kind of want to drive it, usually. But this is art and there are no rules. And there are times where I will not do that as well myself. But that's really what's going on here. I really want to make sure that this bass is the driving factor of the low end. So I'm just reducing some of that conflict a little bit with a simple high pass filter. And you know, we got some low passing right there for whatever is up in the top end that this was kind of conflicting with at that time. Maybe I just didn't need that, I don't know. But as you can see, a lot of this is levels, adding a little like character, a little personality to sounds, a little flavor, and getting things out of the way so everybody can dance in their own space. And then we have this other bass. Let's go to that part. That was cool. Again, this is a very cool production. This literally only happens in this one spot. You know, like there's these cool moments that you want to have emphasized and you want to be felt. So a lot of times you can just do that with volume. But I'm high passing and low passing this. That's it. A little bit of compression. And a lot of volume. And into this SSL so that I can get a little bit more of that character, that crunch, that distortion or whatever out of it, you know. That's it. All right, now we're going to the drums. Any questions, guys? How y'all feeling so far? What's going on? We got 10 folks in the chat. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, for vibing with your boy. We going to the drums. So now I'll just solo that, and now we have all the drums. So let's go to a part like where there's a lot of stuff going on. Maybe right here. So again, with a record like this, the drums and bass are so important. Like you have to be dancing. So a lot of it is levels. As you can see, there's level changes, level balances, and you got to get the levels right first. We'll kind of go down the line. I lied. We'll do it how I would normally do it. I would normally start with the snare. So I would actually mute everything. Well, let's do that. I would mute all of these. Goodness gracious. All right. Like that snare is nice, is a good snare, but I need that thing to make you dance, okay? And so we're doing this. Just popping it out a little bit more, right? And so we're using Smack Attack, my favorite transient designer. For this case too, I'll just bring the drums up so we can hear things a little more isolated and maybe like the difference will be heard more. I don't know. There we go. Just more transient. Transients are super important because that's where your excitement comes from. That's where like to me the realness of music is like it's transience in space to me is very important for the realness and the relatability of music. So I really try to pay attention to the transience of things, that initial thwack, as someone would say. And then I'm using the Puig Child. One thing I like about this Puig Child is it does a low shelf kind of thing, but also has just an interesting sound on drums, specifically on like hi-hats, on snares, on claps, percussion type stuff. It kind of has an interesting high-endy thing that's cool to me sometimes. It's kind of subtle. Kind of subtle, but just a little compression. Nothing too crazy. Then we're using the SSL EV2, doing a little high passing, a little low passing. So this is again one of those situations like there's going to be a vocal coming in. So I want to make sure that the vocals and the hi-hats and the things that are going to really take over the top end. Sometimes the snare has more top end, or the kick or whatever other instrument has more high end than the vocal or than the hi-hat. But in this case, from what I remember, we're going to find out as we continue looking at this mix because I haven't looked at it since I mixed it. I ain't gonna lie. So, but that's what I'm doing here. I'm rolling off the top end, rolling some low. Oh, and I'm boosting a little bit around 2K-ish on the bell. And then we're turning down some 200, turning down some more 200. So I'm kind of thinning this out a little bit. Kind of making it crack a little more. That's all. And then here, oh, yikes. Interesting. So there was probably a frequency right here that was, I kind of hear that whatever that is. That was probably kind of annoying me in some way. And maybe I did a little too much here or something, because I feel like I boosted 2K somewhere. Maybe I did. Maybe, yeah, I boosted it right here on this bell. But with these bells, it is also kind of like a bell shelf kind of situation. So you're getting a lot of frequencies above 2K as well when you do that. But that is an odd move, I will say. But that's what we did there. And then I'll probably go to the hi-hat. So this is one of those situations where there's like, let's see. There's a hi-hat on the snare. So that's probably why I'm rolling off right here on the top end some, because, oh, the hi-hat is already giving you that. But I'm also rolling off on the hi-hat. Well, hey, and I'm doing a little bit of a shelf on this hi-hat as well. Maybe there was some stuff down there that I wasn't really feeling. Let's see what we feel about that. Hey man, I don't know. Then I high pass it. I guess I was like, this shelf isn't doing enough. Let me just go ahead and high pass the whole thing. And so I'm high passing it. That's really it. But if I mute that and bring it back, you see what that hi-hat is adding to the snare. They're combining together to create that sound. So if I mute the hi-hat and bring it back in, you can kind of hear that difference. Right, very important. So it's also important to maintain that balance of these instruments together so that sound doesn't drastically change, because that's a pretty drastic change with this in and with this out. Then we have the shaker. All it sounds like to me is I'm just making it a little darker, a little grittier for real. A little bit of lo-fi distortion. And what are we doing here? It looks like I'm not doing anything, it's just there. And then we're rolling off a little bit of top, a little low, keeping it simple, keeping this short and sweet. Really allowing it to dance. What I love about this too is it has like a little bit of a dynamic, you know, like I like to mix on this screen because I'm not looking at waveforms and things. I like to have the least amount of visual feedback as possible, but you can see the dynamic here. And, you know, I could have been like, oh man, that needs to be consistent and let me compress it or whatever. But no, let it dance. You feel me? Let it dance. Don't you want the people to dance? Let the music dance. So you let it dance. I was liking that. And then you kind of want to find the right level to that sound so it still feels like it's dancing too, because if I turn it up too loud, it doesn't feel like a dance anymore. You got to find the right level for it so that it actually feels like it's dancing. And then we got the spray hat. What's that? Yep, so this right here. Simple high pass. Yeah, that's really it. What we got going here, this situation. This is another section where this comes in just for this section, it seems, and this section as well. Let's A-B that. Just did a little bit of EQ. This is very subtle stuff, but a lot of this is leaving the high end for things that need the high end. You know, as you see, I'm doing a lot of like subtle roll-offs on the top end because it's not always needed for everything to have that, you know. And I'm ducking the top end just a little bit, just trying to make room for everything that's occurring up here and everything that's occurring down here. Let's go back so we can check this hat out right here.
Left foot, right foot.
Oh, tragic. My bad. So we have that. Again, it looks like I didn't do anything. I just used this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that's there. Maybe it's just a little bit of a sound. It is a slight little color. A little high pass. Sometimes too, when you high pass things, especially things like hi-hats and stuff, it kind of, to me, it makes it feel like it's brighter because whatever energy might be going on underneath here, it's like if you turn down low end, it seems like it accentuates the high end. So that's really all I'm doing. I'm more so focusing the energy of the hi-hat so it could be what it needs to be. Then there's this other sound right here. All we got going on that is the Renaissance EQ, using that for a high pass. Kind of really like relax that a lot. I guess I want it to be a little more subtle, and I don't know, but I just kind of relax that a lot, it seems. Let's go here. Just simple stuff, just high passing, low passing things, just clearing up space, just making everything kind of slot and fit in their pockets together and just work and dance together. That's the gist of this mix for the most part, it seems. What's this right here? This situation.
Just text me.
Other stuff. I mean, you got good producers, good sounds. Like, I don't really have to do too much. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do too much if I'm not supposed to do too much. So you gotta just listen. Then we got some fills. Let's go here. A lot of these things are really just volume because they add such a nice energy to the song that you kind of want them to come in a certain way. Like once we bring all of this together and I talk about the automation, I think that's really going to like bring everything full circle of really like the power of mixing and where mixers like kind of shine and like transform songs. All I'm really doing is like, especially with the reverb and the like percussive nature of this feel, let me make this a little quicker of a loop. I'm just using this top end boost to add a little bit more excitement to the room sound of this, but also just to that feel in general. That's literally it. And then I am rolling off and high passing it a little bit, but that's just still creating a certain type of resonance on the top of this sound to just get a little bit more excitement, a little bit more energy. And then I'm using the side widener, again, one of my favorite wideners, 55 on the classic subtle this time, just for a little bit more width, a little bit more excitement with this, because it comes in and just adds such a cool amount of excitement for the song. So I wanted to do it fully. Like if y'all hear how wide that gets and how much it kind of fills up the speakers, let me lengthen the loop to back to right here, and we'll do before. Really allows for that to be a little bit more epic. And then we have the second fill. Seem like we're getting some gain out of this one. I'm turning this one up, but I'm also rolling off some top end, and I'm boosting some 200 and at a shelf, turn down some 195. So I'm bringing out some low mids of this because I guess it was lacking a little bit to me, and that was a lot of important energy in this sound. Here we go, and then we got Decapitator on there. Going a little crazy, but the mix is on 57.1%. Again, this is like the cool thing about Decapitator and how you can compress things with distortion. I can bring up those toms and everything and really make it more in your face and kind of just come out at you a little more aggressively with this plugin. So that's really all I'm using that for. And then I'm high passing 65. Make sure nothing crazy is interrupting nobody down there. That's the drums. Now we're gonna go to the vocals because that's probably where I would have went to next. So I can just I'm gonna do lead vocals. I'm gonna bring those in, and what I would do is I would keep the snare up, and I would let's keep that hi-hat thing up too, and I'll mute everything else. Oh, I forgot to do the cymbals and the riser. My bad. So we'll do the cymbal and the riser real quick. Let me do that. Let's bring both of these up. So that's what the cymbals sound like. So let's bring up Spectre. Just add some top end to that. Just loop it like right here. It adds a little bit of excitement, but there's a cool thing about Spectre and how it can add texture to the top end of things, because when I'm using this tape one, it kind of makes the top end of it a little just crunchy sounding or something in an interesting texture way. It's very subtle-ish, but I just like the character of it. Instead of it sounding just like a little more, instead of it sounding like a digital, it still does, but it just, I don't know, it's a little more character and texture to the sound is how I can best describe it. That's all. And then I didn't do anything to this. Didn't need nothing. Left it alone. All right, now we are at the vocals. So there's a decent amount of plugins on these vocals. So let's go to the first. Let's see, maybe this right here.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
If you listen to these vocals off rip, let me turn on these. Turn it off.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
So if we listen, we kind of hear there's a little distortion, a little sonic imprints on the vocals, and I'm not necessarily mad at that. Oh, yeah, my bad, bro. Where you make beats now? Pro Tools. Oh, I don't even make beats no more, but I was using FL when I was making beats. Yo, you a vet? I saw you rocking a Navy shirt. Yes, I was in the military. I was in the Navy. I was. I did that. But I don't do that no more. Thank the Lord. Dang, we've been live for 56 minutes already. Let's go faster. All right, so there's a little distortion. There's a little crackling, a little breaking up on these vocals. I was like, from my perspective, let's embrace it. You know, let's see if we could turn that into the sound, make that cool. So how I would have started is I probably would have started off with this EQP1A.
Just text me. Don't call me.
There's a lot of bassiness, a lot of boominess in this vocal as well. Totally fine, totally cool. Is that, oh, Picanazo, what's good? How you doing? I knew we had something in common. I'm a vet too. I did. Dang, 8 years is crazy, but amazing. I love that. Army Strong, fire. Love that for you, man. That's what's up. That is what's up. But nah, that's facts, man. I was out here. I luckily didn't do that much. I got out in 2017, I think, 2016, 2017. I forget actually what year. I think it was I think it might have been 2016. Man, I put that behind me like, whew. But I was a naval flight officer actually, but I luckily didn't do that much. I pretty much got out right after I finished flight school. You feel me? So, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about this.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me.
All I'm trying to do in this case, normally I would use this a lot differently. But I know there's a lot of low end in this vocal. And I know I'm going to want to reposition the energy. So I'm not going to do a lot yet. I just want to get a little bit of a better balance for this vocal sound. So I'm just using it just for that. Like we're getting rid of a little bit of low end and a little bit of that like boominess sound. And we're just a little brighter. Like let's not try to overkill it with the first plugin. Like that's all I'm doing right here. And then I'm using this amplified instrument processor. This is a super dope plugin. This is very cool. It looks like I'm using the EQ, so I'm turning down a little bit, -4 dB at 152. That's all I'm using there. It looks like I'm using the compressor, maybe. Let's see.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy.
Very, very subtly. Let me turn this on.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me. Don't call me.
Very subtly, very subtly. But I am going here. So this is the dip that I'm doing here. But you see there's just like this cool movement. There's this liveliness that this plugin adds that I really like. And then again, I'm going with this distortion. If you turn this up, I've turned it up 0.09. You can really crank that and get some distortion. I'll show y'all.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me. Don't call me.
I like using this in these types of situations. I think it was 1.9 because it sounds like a little bit more of a intentional distortion. So I'm using it a little bit to kind of go with that sound. Quick question. What's your normal hi-hat peak on the fader and what are the must-pan elements on the mix? Thank you. I have no idea what's my normal hi-hat peak on the fader. I don't want to sound mean, but I just listen and I feel it out. And I just like, it's a per song kind of thing. And it's all about how it feels and how it sounds. And is this like the emotional position for the hi-hat? I feel like that sounds very like spiritual or something, but that's all I do. I used to do that though. I used to look, okay, the kick is right here at -6, so the bass has to be at like -8 or something like that. But that doesn't work, you know. It doesn't work for me. Maybe it works for some people, but it doesn't work for me. So it's just a feeling, bro. It's just like listening to a lot of music and studying a lot of music so that you kind of hammer in your brain your reference point of what you want things to sound like. And then from there, it's a collaboration with the people that you're, you know, working with and creating with to get it to where they're happy, you know, to where they hear it, you know, like that's really it. But if this is your own music, it's what you think, you know, what you feel. Hopefully that was helpful. That's what we're doing there. Just a little bit of EQ right here and a little bit of compression and then a little bit of distortion. And these are different tone shape things. So there's a little bit of EQ and processing, color saturation stuff or whatever going on with this. But very cool plugin. Definitely think people should check that out. Then I'm using the Magma channel strip.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
All I'm doing really is just turning down some of the low end again. Like at this point, I think normally, like these days, I probably would have just went ham and just got rid of all of it. But at this time, I was doing it in very slow steps for some reason. Then I'm using the DBX 160 for a little bit more of compression, maybe.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
Well, just a little bit of compression, but I really like the sound of this DBX 160 on rap vocals, on male vocals where they're not like singing for real. They're kind of rapping or rap singing sometimes. I really like the sound of this very subtly on those type of vocals. And even on female vocals, female rap vocals sometimes, it has like an attitude or something to it. A little bit of a punch to it. So I like using this one and the Waves one sometimes. It just depends. Now, I guess this is where I'm starting to get rid of some of this low end, kind of adjust that balance a little bit more.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
Just doing that, and then we got good old C6. What am I doing with this?
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me. Don't call me.
Really, I think if I try to think back to how I was thinking when I was mixing this vocal, I thought probably that I had the vocal in a good place, and now I want to use the C6 to keep the frequency spectrum of this vocal a little more consistent. And obviously the low end was a place where it was a little inconsistent frequency wise, and so that's why I was using this. And then you see there's these little kind of notchy ones right here. Maybe there's certain frequencies that I'm trying to tuck a little bit.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy.
It's crazy because these days I would have done this totally different, but I'm not mad at it. I lied. The song sounds great. Then I'm doing a little bit of subtle, oh, maybe not subtle. I'm doing some more EQ with the SSL. Again, taking a lot more low end out of this vocal.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me.
That one totally transforms the entire vocal.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy.
Now we're getting rid of pretty much all of that, and we're really shaping it in the way that sounds like, what we would want to hear on a final record. Am I using some of this compression? Let's see.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just
a little bit of the compression right there. Oh, yikes. And now we're doing some stuff here. Yeah, we're doing some stuff here. This is I don't know. We're doing stuff here.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy.
This might be a little excessive, but something that I used to do a lot is expansion. I still do this sometimes, but expansion in like the upper mid range or the top end to add a little bit more excitement to a vocal. So that's what it looks like I'm doing right here. But then again, I'm probably just, as I really got locked in on this mix, I'm hearing these frequencies a little too much, and I really want them to be a little less, or a little more consistent, or something like that. And then maybe there was a frequency right here that was doing a little too much. And then maybe what all I had done before, I had taken out a little bit too much of this. So I'm turning up some more of that. And then again, we taking out even more low end here. Goodness gracious. These days, I would have done this with way less plugins, but this is what I did then.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
So there we go with that. And then there's a high pass. Then that's when I would normally come back in high pass. Kind of. I probably would have added this high pass right here before I did this one. I probably would have gone maybe to, you know, right here to this SSL and then added this high pass and then maybe did these moves or something. But I'm always coming back and readjusting things, so the order could be all over the place. But there's this high pass.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
So there we have that. I see that. Pika. Oh, and also he asked me what are the must pan elements on the mix. I don't know why you would not. I think you should pan anything. There is must pan. Must pan elements on the mix. Anything that is not supposed to be in the center should be panned. Maybe. I not even should, but there's no rules. So I can't say there's a must pan element. But you put things in the center normally, generally, intentionally, for that to be one of the main things that drive the song. So if it's not that, I might pan it. But that's a kind of a difficult question to answer. What's your opinion on de-reverb plugins? Do they harm the vocal, or is it better to do it for an untreated room? What do you mean, is it better to do it for an untreated room? Like, de-reverb plugins are helpful. I use them when I need to use them. I use the one from Waves most of the time if I need to use them. Let me bring the kick and bass back too, because I want to talk about the relationship with the kick and bass and the vocal. But I think it's a tool that you have to use if you have to use it. I think that, yeah, a lot of these noise reduction plugins can be harmful to the vocal, but it's all a trade-off. So you got to just assess, is that trade worth deverbing it, and try to find the balance to where the trade-off is hopefully unrecognizable. So that's my opinion on that. But I want to talk about the relationship of the lead vocal with the kick and the bass, because it's very important.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
So y'all hear what the kick and the bass is very powerful, very loud, very like active in this song. And that lead vocal is like, if the kick and bass is right here, that lead vocal is like right there. But this is not something that I'll do all the time, but this is what called for, to me at least, for this song. It called for that type of energy, for the kick and the bass to be loud and proud and whatever, but the lead vocal to kind of sit next to it. There are times where you want the lead vocal to sit on top of the kick and bass, because I look at it like levels to a skyscraper in a way. Or, well, I look at it like levels to a skyscraper mainly. And maybe you have your kick on and your bass on the lowest level, and they might be at different heights on the first floor, and then you go up a floor and maybe you have like a piano or whatever, and then you go up a floor and then maybe you have your vocal, then you go up a floor and you have your snare and your hi-hat or whatever. So it's like levels like this kind of, and that's why I mix in mono a lot, because you can hear your sounds in levels like that very easily, and you can use, you know, your fader, volume, and EQ to really get those levels kind of placed well. In this case though, the kick and the bass comes up a level instead of it being like just on the first floor and being like down there. It's important. So it needs, well, it's usually always important, but it needed to be louder to me. It needed to be on a higher floor. So that relationship was a little different for this kind of song. But also there's some parallel situations going on. And I also will mix the lead vocal to the kick drum and 808 a lot of times too, just to kind of create that initial balance and the initial even frequency relationship, like frequency spectrum of the vocal in relation to the kick and the bass. Like, what frequencies of this vocal do I need to not emphasize because it's not allowing the bass to dance in a certain way, and what frequencies of this vocal do I need to bring out so that it sits on top of it or next to it or whatever. And So I'll use this, I'll mix like this almost on every mix, because that relationship is just very important, like frequency wise, how those relate to each other.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left.
Well, that's a volume jump. All right. So now we're getting into the parallels. That totally changed what happened with this vocal. That vocal comes up, shoots up to the sky. But we're using black box. We're using the air. This is, again, things that I just do to taste in parallel. So, again, I wanted to hype the vocal. It needed that energy, you know. Like, they are rapping in a cool, laid-back way, and a lot of the energy is coming from the beat, but I still wanted them to have a lot of energy, too. So then I'm using some of that energy, too. And I'm using the 1176 to really, let's see what I'm using it for before I say something.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy.
So this is how I'll get that compression feel and sound, and I'll blend those together. I'll blend the lead vocal together with this and get that balance right first. And then I'll do that so I don't have to over compress the lead vocal, and we haven't totally removed the dynamics from the performance. Because something I did forget to tell y'all is, as you can see, there's a little bit of automation right here on this lead vocal, like certain words that I want to automate up so they don't, get lost and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like if y'all have seen any of the videos, y'all know that I do automation. So I actually do it with a fader now, but I went through and I drew in all of this automation so that the vocals could sound like they were performing in the way that I hear them performing, in the most like emotional way for the song. So that's what we did here. We went through, did a bunch of automation on these vocals. We're bringing out like these things right here that are super high up, bringing out transients of the vocal, like the diction of the vocal, the consonants and stuff like that. We're doing that just to really make sure that performance sounds like it was nailed. Like, that's what I'm going for when I'm doing my first pass of automation. I want it to sound like, dang, bro, they was in the booth going crazy that day. Like, the way they performed it, that their vocal performed like crazy, So a lot of times volume automation could just get you most of the way, and then you just EQ it, and maybe you use a little bit of compression, or maybe you don't. I don't know. There's a lot of mixes that I don't use any compression on the vocal, but I like to do that first because it really makes the performance more emotional and connective to me personally. All right, I'm back in the chat. I see what y'all talking about. Holy automation, yes. Major key. Let me drink some water, y'all. I'm getting a little parched. Dang it. Knock my keyboard over. All right. What's going on though? How you doing? Not gonna lie, I'm trying to figure out where you put your stems and 2-track on your template. I just been winging it, to be honest. What do you mean where I put my stems and 2-track on my template? I put my stems, I don't know how to, if it's just a 2-track beat, I will put it in between. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. If it's just a 2-track beat, I'll put it right underneath this 2-track right here, and I'll get rid of these music, kick and bass, drums, VCAs, because I don't need those. But if it's track outs or the multi-track, like this situation, then I'll put the music underneath the music, all music VCA, and the kick and bass underneath the, kick and bass VCA, all drums underneath that VCA. Does that help? All right, back to these parallels. So I'm using that for this, and then this is the frequency range that I'm adding back in. And not that this was like a challenging vocal, but this was were recorded in a certain way so that I, at the time, felt I needed to do a decent amount of EQ on this vocal. So that's what was happening there. I'm gonna mute this one and we'll A/B this one. Well, maybe I should go to where there is a hook playing.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left.
You see, that's a lot going on with that right there. That's a very difficult A/B.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy.
Getting that high end energy from this. Okay, so we got the NLS channel from Waves. We're driving it a decent amount. And then we got fresh air boosting this. I like using this in parallel if I do want that brightness. I don't really personally like using it directly on the track. I kind of feel like it makes things a little harsh, but in parallel, it's kind of magical to me. So I'll use it there. Magical is a strong word, but I like it in parallel most of the time in that type of situation over putting it directly on the track. And then we're using our compressor to compress it a little bit.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
And then we're just adding that back in. And when I do this, sometimes I do like to just do a little bit of boost or maybe even a little bit of cut sometimes on these to kind of focus that parallel just a little bit more where the energy of it is. So that's all I'm doing that.
Just text me.
That's all I'm doing right there. And then I'm blending these to taste. Like before I do the automation here, because I'll do a little bit of extra automation. I didn't do that much on this song, on this line at least. I'll get my overall static balance with all of these faders together. I have a controller so I can like do it with all of these or whatever. So I'll get that. Now for the other lead vocal, which I will play.
I can't deny this wave, I can't feel my face. All I ever wanted was to taste.
So I'll do a lot of the same things. So the high pass is the same. EQP looks the EQP 1A is a little different. Okay, well let's get into it. But I'll use a lot of the same plugins. I'll use that as like a starting point, especially if it sounds like they recorded in the same place. In this case, it's both male vocals. Now maybe if it was a female vocal, I might just totally reapproach it, do something different, maybe even add in different effects. But for this case, I thought it was appropriate to just bring these plugins over here and then adjust as needed. So in this case, I didn't use any of the boost on the Pultec, but the low end is the same. It looks like I was trying to do it and trying to figure, but it's like, no, it doesn't need it. So we'll step down each of these and then we'll just quickly see if anything else is different. So I'll mute that.
I can't deny this wave, I can't feel my face. All I ever wanted was to taste. Left and right to the base, cause it's not every day. Enjoyment day, okay. Fresh like salad, moving like badass. Shorty got vibes, she a party starter. She make them all gada, shaking as she shaking like maracas.
Alright. Yeah. Alright, so subtle differences, different frequency, and different bandwidth on the cue right here, just subtle. A little bit different release. Just subtle stuff for real, probably. Looks like this is the same. DBX 160. Just a little bit more on the threshold. Pro Q. Just a different frequency that I've shifted to. I mean, it's a different person, so like where it's resonating in that person's voice is probably just slightly different. Same thing here, just slightly different frequencies, but pretty similar, pretty similar settings, like very slightly different. Like some of these attack times and the attack times are a little different, but very subtle stuff. Okay, again, frequency is a little different. Yeah, just subtle stuff, man. Nothing too crazy. Same plugins, just subtle stuff. Again, I probably just shifted things around on this to make it feel like it needed to feel. And in this case, I did not have to use this third EQ on here because maybe I don't know, maybe because I don't know why, but I didn't have to use it on here, so I didn't. And these are probably pretty much exactly the same. I may have adjusted these. Yeah, these EQs are a little bit different. Yeah, that's really it. Also, I have this lead vocal delay. So on these parallels, I have these effects on here as well. We're going to talk about the effects too. On the hook, I don't have this lead vocal delay, but on the verse, I do have those on here. I do these parallels a little slightly differently now too, but that's how I was doing it then. But everything else is pretty much the same. So we'll A/B all of these things real quick. We'll just do that and this, right?
I can't deny this wave, I can't feel my face. All I ever wanted was to taste. Left and right to the base, cause it's not every day. Enjoyment day, okay. Fresh like salad, moving like badass. Shorty got vibes, she a party starter. She make them all gaga. Shaking now, she shaking like maracas.
All right. That is the vocal chain for the lead vocals. That's what happened there. And then we're going to go to the effects really quickly. Very simple, nothing crazy. So we just got micro shift. I'll solo the leads, and we're going to turn these up so we can really hear them.
I can't deny this wave, I can't feel my face. All I ever wanted was to taste. Left and right to the base.
Simple. RVox, just compressing it before going into micro shift. High passing it and low passing it. A little EQ on it so it doesn't get like woofy and boomy. That's it. And then literally a light room. Like these types of, this performance to me is just like, okay, that's if it, I don't have to go crazy on a song if it's not telling me to go crazy. You know, I'm listening to the song and I'm just doing what I hear, what I feel, what makes me dance. That's it. And it's not about the vocal reverb on this song. You want to hear and feel and sense some of that, but it's not like there's supposed to be some epic vocal effects on the entire vocal performance, you know, so we're not doing that. But that's all we're doing here. Literally use deverb on the small room.
I can't deny this wave, I can't feel my face. All I ever wanted was to taste. Left and right to the base, cause it's not every day.
I mean, deverb is got good reverbs, man. A classic they heard on everybody's records, and I think they're cool. A little bit of meta flanger. I like putting flangers, any kind of modulation plugins on effects to give it a little bit of extra movement. What y'all saying in chat? What's happening? Yeah, nowhere near how I set them up. But it's okay, man. However it works for you, that's all good. But yeah, that's helpful. Okay, bet. Pull texts are goated for sure. UAD and Apogee and acoustical ones are the best sounding ones. Oh, fire. Yeah, the Apogee one is fire. I haven't used the acoustical ones, but I don't have any acoustical plugins because I'm protesting how CP intensive their plugins are. CPU intensive their plugins are. I think that's, I was about to say unconstitutional, but that's a little bit of a reach. But I think that's just a little crazy these days for the plugins to be like that. Like, I ain't got time for all of that, I ain't gonna lie. And then I'm using a little bit of air chorus on there, and then side chaining it a little bit.
I can't deny this wave, I can't feel my face. All I ever wanted was to taste.
I'm side chaining it so I can really get that lead vocal present in your face. Like, that's the energy of the song, you feel me? And then I'll compress sometimes these effects as well. I'm using the art compressor to do that.
I can't deny this wave, I can't feel my...
To keep it tucked so it doesn't like really splash out in certain moments. Because I really want that lead vocal to be, you know, the main thing. And then again, I'll come again with another EQ behind that to really make it be exactly where I want it to be in the song. I don't want to have extra reverb frequencies in the song that I don't need because you can't even hear it anyway, you know. Acoustica took down their, dang, they took down their Instagram? What? Flangers are always at facts. I think everyone going, really? Everyone going against them? I didn't know they took down their Instagram. That's crazy. Why they do that? I mean, they did have that moment where they were kind of found out about the thing, but that's a little excessive. Now we will talk about the effects. How long have we been on stream? Hour and 30. Damn, we got 30 more minutes, guys. All right, so we have effects. They had some effects already, I believe. I think they already had some. I don't remember. Let's see what these are.
Okay, fresh like salad, moving like badass. Shorty got vibes, she a party starter.
I don't really remember if these are there, but that's all it is. Just Echo Boy, lo-fi. Just using that to, you know, roll off the top, but it does it in a unique way, so that's kind of cool sometimes. A little bit of reverb on it just to soften it, kind of put it back a little bit. RVox just to compress it, keep it locked in, really isolating wherever what the frequency is that I want that delay to be, and that's it. I think it's kind of like this is again why it's very important to, when, at least for me, when I do this, that's crazy that I'm using two EQs doing somewhat the same thing. Let's tap into that. What? That's kind of crazy. One EQ wasn't enough. I needed it even more thinner. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, Fuzzbox. This is the other plugin that I use for MicDSP. Fuzzbox is goated. To me, this is MicDSP's best plugin they ever created. Personally, that's a personal opinion because they have some really good plugins, but I love this plugin. And I use that on these delays here. Let's A/B that. That's where you get that distortion characteristic from. Like, it just sounds so cool. And then we have this one. I think I use the same distortion preset. What I'll do oftentimes is I'll go click here and I'll just try a bunch of these and then I'll adjust from there. But they do have their own like presets and stuff that, you know, a bunch of people have made, and Mike Dean in here. But I usually just do that. All right. Like, I love using that on effects, man. It just sounds so cool. Like, if I take this off, it's cool, but this adds so much more coolness. That distortion is just perfect for effects to me sometimes. This is that. I'm just using this to make it mono. Yep, just EQing it, reverb. Yep, doing what I gotta do to make it sound the way I want it to sound. That's it, just EQing it. So those are the effects throws right there. We can play that with the lead vocal.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left.
Okay, fresh like salad, moving like badass. Shorty got vibes, she a party starter. She
There's that, and then we'll go to these ad-libs. Let's go right here. Let's loop that.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
So that goes with these ad-libs. So if we do this, that reverb, that mono reverb, it goes with this. So just using this as a shelf. We got SSL EV2 that I am boosting back a little 200, and I'm high passing to 220, and it looks like I'm doing a little bit of compression. Whatever. Using the DVX. This was Tom from Waves. Nothing too crazy, and then just really relaxing that low end with the C4. And that's it right there. And then we're adding, we're putting a doubler on there. That's what we did with the R channel. Blah, blah, blah. Renaissance EQ, just add a little delay. Stock stuff for real, a little flanger on it. A little more EQ on it. And then we got a little R-verb going. Lo-fi before, R-verb on the Hall setting, keeping it real simple and basic, then EQing it however you know it needs to sound, and then that's how I blended it right there. Those are the vocals, y'all. What y'all talking about in the chat? I need C1 X comp from SSL gives like a saturated sound. I don't know. Ah, interesting. They took it down like 2-3 weeks ago. Dang, I don't know, to be honest. I just know they did. Dang, Fuzzbox, 1 of 1. Facts. That and their MC404 just cool. Yeah, the MC404 is fire. It's gold. It's a multi-band compressor that people use a lot. Oh, also on the reverbs. Dang, I was doing a lot of EQ on this mix. That's kind of crazy. I could have just high passed this and turned that down. That's excessive for sure. I didn't need to do all of that. Now we're going to, what I would do is I would mute the vocals, because now let's listen to the whole vibe too, with the lead vocals and the drums.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
Like, that's the meat and potatoes of the record right there, you know? So that groove, that feel, that dance has to be nailed and locked in. So that's where I started. Now, once I get to that state, I'm always adjusting levels. I'm going back and adjusting plugins. I'm hearing things and I'm just reacting in a way, or I don't know, whatever I'm doing. But now I will, oh, dang, I didn't even have all of this stuff in, but that is the medium tail. Let's play with all the drums now, because I would bring all the drums in too.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
Like, so important. I feel like I just want to, I don't know, man. The way the shaker is, like, you hear how it's like pulsating. This is just great production. Like, how it forces you to subtly dance. It's like stuff is moving you and you don't even feel it. You feel me? So, like, when I heard this and felt this and saw this, I was like, oh man, this is fantastic.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left.
How that shaker is just moving you and moving with the music, you know, like it's amazing. Dang, my grandmother's calling me. Goodness. I gotta call my grandma. I'll call her back after the stream. Hopefully everything's all right. But that's what we got going on there. Then I would probably, I don't know, I would go to the music, but in this case, the music is kind of different. So I could kind of leave it in, leave the drums and the bass in. This is interesting. For the music, I didn't really do that much. They had done these things already with the C4 and the EQ7 band. I think I just took this off on that sound. It's just levels and balancing, and I've used SSL on a couple sounds. So let's talk about it. So it's just levels. This is the intro part of the song right here.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm busy.
Right here, we have this moment where this hits right here. So what's SSL?
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm busy.
I just want to make that hit. That's all. Like, very simple. But they're doing it already. I'm just, you know, trying to emphasize it a little bit. But I'm rolling off a little bit of top end with this. That's it. Everything else they did to me, fine. It looks like maybe I was gonna boost a little bit somewhere, but I was like, nah, I'm doing too much. That's fine. It's good.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
I want that to work. And even when you hear, like, this is the part about levels, right? Like how this sound hits with everything going on, but then how this reverse cymbal comes back right after it. Like, to me, those are moments, and they gotta like hit and connect and play off of each other in the right way. So and that's just volume. You feel me? So like, listen to how this is an important part of the record. Like, this is the first impression of the record to me, is like the first drop, maybe the first lyric. This is like the first impression of the record. Like, to me, it's oftentimes not even so much the intro. It usually is, depending on how long the intro is, but this just text me. That's the first impression. So I need to make sure that makes a good impression. But listen to how this sound and the other sound plays off against each other.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm sorry.
Still subtle, but that's like movie trailer type stuff to me when I think about it. It's like, and then something comes, and then it's just like, I don't know. And then how the drums come, the kick comes back in right here.
Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm sorry.
Trying to just nail those balances and that feeling, man. Very important. And all of that is just volume, not plugins. That's more important than all of these plugins. You feel me? Like, that's super important.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy.
See what this is.
Don't just text me. Don't call me.
That, like, I could have made that super, super loud, but I turned it down. It felt like it's something that's more tucked and you feel and you sense a little more than it being super loud. Like,
just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm busy.
it does what it needs to do, you feel me? But that's like the music, and then there's, well, it's like vocal samples, and then there's this.
Wind up your body now. Broco, gal, wind up your.
And also I like in this part how they, you know, did this EQ sweep. Like, that's cool. So I'm just loving it. I'm just letting that be what it is. Like, it's doing what it's supposed to do. But we'll listen to this section.
Busy, I'm sorry.
Wind up your body now. Broco, gal, wind up your body now. Wind up your body now. Wind up your body now. Wind up, broco.
I can't deny this wave, I can't feel my face. All I ever wanted was to taste. Left and right to the base, cause it's not every day. Enjoyment day, okay. Fresh like salad, moving like badass. Shorty got vibes, she a party starter. She make them all gather.
Again, like, just let it be crazy. You feel me? Like, let it have the energy. That's all I'm doing right here. And I think I just took that off, or I just bypassed it, because I get it maybe have felt too energetic, but I was like, we need that. Let's let that live. And then with this SSL, it's like I'm just rolling off some low end. Oh, and turn down some low end too. What's this right here? That's it.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot.
Simple stuff. And then we have this one right here.
Rock it down, respect my song. Fresh like salad, moving like badass. Shorty got vibes, she
Fire. You feel me? It's fire. That's pretty much it. Then it comes back. This is also interesting too, because this is just volume. This is production as well. Like, maybe I could have like made this louder, but it's not really so much about this. It's about the bass and the drums. That's what's making you dance. This isn't making me dance. It's nice to hear and it's helpful, but it's like, it's about the kick and the bass and these drums that's making me dance. And this is the dance section right here. So emphasize the dance.
Busy, I'm sorry.
It is obviously lower than the lead vocal. So what actually happens right here is the drums and the bass take the place of the lead vocal, and now those become the lead kind of energy or the lead instrument, and this is taking a back seat. It's obviously lower than the lead vocal. But I think in the past, me personally, I'd have been like, oh, that's weird. The lead vocal goes away and there's this other vocal sample that comes in, but it's not as loud as the lead vocal. That's strange. But no, like, it's not supposed to be. This is supposed to be low so those other things can take over. So we'll check that out.
Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
There we go. Oh, also I did this on a tag. I don't know. I feel like I normally wouldn't do stuff like this. I usually don't touch people's tags, but let's see.
Just text me.
Yeah, high passed it a little bit. Maybe I need to do that, maybe not.
Just text me.
I feel like I didn't do that at all. I don't know. I was still in the matrix a little bit when I mixed this song, I guess. But that's pretty much the main stuff of the mix. Okay, now we do have a lot of stuff still going on with these buses. We're gonna get into it. So let's start with the vocals. Maybe let's start with the vocals. Let's just go right here.
Just text me.
On the lead vocals, this is something that I used to do often. Is I would put C4 across like a lead vocal bus if there was multiple artists, so I could kind of use it to help me get a more consistent sound for each person. So I'm probably using it for something like that.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm sorry.
But we get some subtle cleanup with that. And then I'm high passing again with this and tucking a little bit of the top in just ever so subtly.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm sorry.
Really cleaning it a little bit. And I'm actually using a little soothe on 27%. Yeah, wow.
Just text me. Don't call me. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me. Don't call me. I'm
Just some subtle cleanup stuff on all the vocals is all that we're doing right here. What y'all saying in the chat? Doesn't compare to TZL's dips. Ah, facts. TZL going crazy though. I love it. Bro, how you normally use the manipulator plugin on your master? Oh, how no. I actually don't use it anymore, but I just use it to make the mix mono. That's all I use it for. I would just bypass it on and off to make the mix mono. But now I actually just use the stock. I mean, not the stock, but I use the Apple MacBook settings or whatever to make it mono. So I don't really use that anymore. I would have added more high end and use True Verb and use the vocal spreader preset and turn off the reverb fader. For what? What are you talking about? Is it always necessary to add plugins to track stems? No, it is not always necessary. As long as it sounds necessary. Sometimes it's just audio automation when I don't mess with the stems. Thanks. Yes. That's my type of vibe. Song is great. What's the art Spotify? Team Salute. I would drop the Spotify in the chat right now. Team Salute on Spotify. Wait, let me pull up Spotify. Wait, can y'all see this on my screen or not? I don't know. It's whatever. Can y'all see Spotify on my screen right now or no? Oh no, y'all can't see it. There it is. Team Salute. This is these are the producers and artists of this song. I believe they produced it as well. But I would drop their Spotify link in the chat. Let me go here. So that's their Spotify. Hopefully y'all could see that now. All right. Oh, on the shaker. Yeah, we talked about the shaker. And how it was doing a little bit of dance and how we left the high end, or we actually took high end out of the shaker because it's not the star of the show, but it's a subtle, it's adding dance to the song. You feel me? It's not, I think I would have done that too, like, I don't know, in the past. But now I'm like, I see what's happening here and I feel what's happening here. But I feel you and I get that, and that may have been what it may have been better. You know, you never know, you know. But that's not what I did. All right. But there were other things that were important for the top end, so that's definitely why we took the top end a little bit off. Where's the shaker? Right here. We actually didn't do that much. We just, we rolled off a little bit of top end, dug down some 7K, high passed a little bit, because there are other top end things that give us that top end thing. And we also have vocals, and sometimes these types of instruments can block the vocal and kind of alter the performance or confuse the performance and like make your ear do a battle of what's going on here, you know. But maybe the true verb thing might have been cool, but I felt like what they did with volume was enough. Like that was all that was needed to me for this type of song, you know. It's kind of more straight ahead, straight and narrow. But I feel what you're saying, and maybe that could have been better. How do you make it mono using the Mac feature? Oh, okay. I will show y'all that as well. Let me go back to screen capture, and I will go down here. I will click on my settings, and then I will go up here, and I will say mono, and then I will. Okay, then I'll go play stereos mono. Just click right there, and then I will hit tab twice. So all I do is hit the space bar. So I can hit Command Tab and go to Pro Tools.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm.
Right, be listening to mono like that, and then I can hit Command Tab, go back, hit space bar.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
Right. I hope y'all saw that. I don't know if I put my screen up properly. Let me see if I did. Okay, I think y'all saw that. But that's how I do that. Cool. Till 5, the BX metering free one does the same thing, and from PA. All right, so on all of the vocals, interesting, Blue Cat Patchwork. What did I do here? Ah, again, this is that distorted sound, the gritty sound. So this is something that's very cool about this Harrison 32 Classic strip. If you, what's this on, 46%? Let's just listen to this real quick, AB.
Just text me, don't.
To play just the vocals.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
Oh, and I'm also automating this. I'm automating this like grit a little bit.
Just text me.
So it's a little higher in the hook it seems, and maybe it's lower in the verses.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right.
You can distort, you can, you know, use the input and drive this and distort it, and then you can turn down the output. So again, this is something that it seems like I was doing a lot on this mix, is like driving console emulation plugins. But again, with this kind of distortion kind of effect thing, I'm using that to embrace that and make it a part of the sound, make it gritty, make it all of that it is, and make it feel intentional. So I'm using this Blue Cat Patchwork because it's not a mix knob on this plugin, and I wanted a mix knob. So that's what I'm using this for. And it looks like I am also boosting some top end on here as well. And it looks like I am cutting a little bit of low end on here as well. So that's what I'm using that for. We'll A/B that one more time.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy.
A little hype or whatever. And then we got some, I just kept making this brighter and brighter.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so.
That, and we got the L2.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't.
It's something about this L2 sometimes to where it just locks things in. I really don't use this as much as it seems like I use this, because every time I do a mixed breakdown on YouTube, somehow I've used this plugin. I don't know what's up with that, but I don't use this that much actually on the vocal bus like this. But it does a certain thing when you need to lock in vocals. It kind of has a sound that I have gravitated to. So that's all I'm doing there. Then I'm using it in the list channel a little bit, 0.5.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
There's that. Kind of did a lot on that. All right, so now let's bring up the kick and bass. So I'm going to mute everything except for the vocals and the kick and bass.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me.
I just like using the Shadow Hills on kick and bass sometimes, or on drums as a whole, because to me, in this case, it has a dance vibe. It has a certain color. I'm not even using it so much for the compression. It's just the color and the character of it is It feels a little dancey. You know, if I bring this back in, just feels a little like dance EQ kind of color that I'm familiar with. So I'll play that.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me.
The way it shapes the kick and the bass together, I just like that sound. Let's see, now let's go to the drums. Let's bring the drums back. On the clap and the snare, I have boosted some 800 2 dB, and I boosted some 200 4 dB.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me.
Maybe I thought it was too bright and I wanted more weight to that sound together, so I just did that right there. I'm using a dual mono, SSL 0.4.
Just text me.
This is on percussion, so this is like all the hi-hats, all the loops and whatever's. Only these two sounds, the snare and this hi-hat that's on top of the snare, is going to the clap and snare bus. Everything else is going to the percussion bus.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy.
Simple stuff right there. And then for all the music, it's not a lot going on, so maybe we just loop this section right here. Let's unmute. So we got Spectre. I was just brightening everything up on this song. It's kind of crazy. I probably got towards the end of the mix and I was like, it's not bright enough for what I think it should be for this song. Just a nice lift for all of that right there. And then I'm using the Brainworks SSL 4000E, and we boosted more top end. Goodness gracious, I was wilding out. And then we're doing some shelving on the lows at 450. And we're high passing. Yeah, it seemed like I'm just bringing out a lot of high-end, high-mid energy right here. I guess it just needed it. I got to the end of the mix and I was like, we need more. Again, driving a little bit with the NLS. A little more. Actually feels a little subdued a little bit. It's not as crazily over the top energetic. And then on all of the music, I use this 33609 emulation from Arturia. To me, this compressor just has a good way of gluing the entire instrumental together that I like, and I don't even have to use that much, if any, compression. I don't even have to use that much compression on it. Like, I hear the glue, but as you can see, the meters aren't moving. It's like it just puts it all in the same world in a way. Now on the mix bus, again, brighter, as I don't know. We just got to the end and I just brighter and brighter. Saw it. I need to get the green version of Shadow Hills. I have the red one. Yeah. I guess I got both technically, but I use the green one the most, I guess. The red one's probably pretty solid too, though. Just a little bit, and then here I am relaxing it. It got a little OD. I was wilding out on this mix, but then we're getting some 1K energy. That's kind of repositioning the energy and not having it so spicy up here, but a little just better right here. So I'm doing that, and then we got the BX clipper on the entire mix. Oh no! Yikes. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. Let me do this. Now this is like a dangerous move, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I be doing some crazy stuff, but I'm mid-side clipping the mix, and I don't always do this. But in this case, I just felt like it was the right thing to do. You know, this is a little bit of a dangerous move though, so I don't necessarily recommend everybody do this. But you see how we could clip the center, and we get a lot more energy and excitement from the sides. But it's not the most safe thing to do. But sometimes I like it for the effect of just pushing everything a little bit closer to you, you know, like just more energy. So I did that for this. That's all. And then I actually don't have ozone 10 anymore, so what I did, and this is the version where I took off the limiter, because they got it mastered by mastering engineers, so I took off the vintage limiter and the maximizer. But I had this equalizer on here. I don't know what I did, but I probably just lifted the low end a little bit. But the way this works is the EQ is still active. So if I A/B this, you will hear the effect of the EQ. I just can't change it, and we can't look at it. So I probably, after this limiting, wanted a little bit of that low end back that I was losing from the limiter. So let's see. Yikes. Let's see if we can, oh no. Let's see if we do that. Hey guys, it's not gonna let me tap in with ozone. Let me see if I can, what we looking like? Oh yeah, we going crazy. Okay. Looks like we're not gonna be getting to the ozone, but that's all this probably is. And as you can see, which is very dim to see, it's negative 7.3, but this is why I brought up the ozone 11, because that is what I have now. And I've mimicked the vintage limiter settings, but this is what those were. I don't even know what the maximizer settings were, but that doesn't really matter because those settings didn't make it on the mix. So, or on the final thing that's out in the world. So these settings don't really matter that much. Maybe the EQ is the thing that, you know, matters the most. But that's it, guys. That's the mix. That's all that was there. Let's listen to it.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot.
Oh, I forgot. My bad. I forgot to go over these moments right here that we've done with the effects. I'm so sorry. This is important. All I'm doing here is on this first situation, add a little excitement and interest to it using Faturator. I don't know why, whatever. Micro shift, center to relax the center some, RVox to compress it, blah, blah, blah. Adding that effect to this moment right there. And then on these, add more energy to those moments. So
Just text me, don't call. Just text me,
that's like, let's make it more epic.
just text me, don't.
Really making these moments pop out and be exciting, you know. So I'm adding the kilohertz reverb, right? Who's using the kilohertz reverb? It's a dope reverb for these types of things, man. And then I'm saturating it using Sweetwater, blah, 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 right? And then let's go to this one right here. Cool stuff, right? So we got Echo Boy, 8th note, blah, blah, blah. Kilohertz reverb. That's how we EQ'd it. A little compression, a little bit of that. So let's listen to that with it in context.
Wind up your body now, broke out, girl. Wind up your body now. Wind up your body now. Wind up your body now. Wind up, broke out, girl.
I kinda,
Wind up, broke out, girl.
I kinda,
It's subtle, but it adds a nice amount of excitement to these moments. So this is without.
Wind up, broke out, girl.
I kinda,
Wind up, broke out, girl.
I can't deny this wave.
It creates that tail of that effect for it to linger and last a little bit longer, so your ear catches that feeling and that sense of, oh man, like they really lit and they turn it up in this space and like I hear it. At least that's what it is to me. I feel like I'm describing this in crazy ways, but hope y'all are getting it. So we have another one, which is kilohertz, reverb, lo-fi, side widener. That's how we EQ'd it. Oops.
Dada, she make them all gaga.
So that, with it bypassed,
Dada, she make them all gaga.
I mean, cool, but
Dada, she make them all gaga.
cooler. Just saying. All right, and then we have this Echo Boy on here. We're doing a quarter note on the left, 8th note on the right, ping pong type of vibe. We got the, yep, that's that. We EQ'd it like that, put a little deverb on it, RVoxed it. Did I widen it a little bit? I did nothing with that. Okay. That's how we EQ'd it. I think that's it. Right? Oh, then we have this bass thing too. Again, that's
Rock it down,
a moment where only this sound comes in one time, so I'm using this to just extenuate that a little bit more.
come true, don't take too long. Don't say too much, man, I'm way too gone. Rock it down, respect my song. Fresh.
Very subtle, but just adds a subtle bit of width to those sounds. So this is something that I'll do on a lot of records, but I like to have this crazy work, which is basically sound effects that or things that I'll do in the mix as far as automation and adding effects, whether it's reverbs or stutters, even whatever it is. I'll just drag parts of the clip down here, put a bunch of plugins on it and go crazy and do that. And I'll do the same thing with the vocals, but this one is nasty work. And I'll do the same thing, drag the parts of the vocal down here and put effects on it just to highlight these moments, really make them feel more special, more epic, really bring and add more life to the song. I forgot that I wanted to talk about automation because that's a part of the automation, but this is what really like brings it all together. I normally do a lot more automation actually, but in this case I feel like it was so direct that maybe I didn't need to go too crazy with the automation. But let's see if I did any volume automation on this. Wow, not really. I did at the end for this bass layer, because to me that's supposed to kind of take over, so I automated this up a little bit. Not that much, but it's like at the end of a mix, it's crazy how much 0.1 dB or 0.2 to 5 dB changes the impact and the performance and the feel of things. It's kind of crazy how just that subtle move of automation can do that. Like there'll be times where a word will feel too low and I'll turn it up 0.1 dB and now it's perfect, so I didn't go crazy with this song actually with automation. I usually do more, but in this case I did automation on this parallel. This is another reason why I like EQing in parallel, because I can I can change the EQ and the energy of a sound throughout the mix a lot easier instead of having to automate the EQ. And then if I want to change the sound or the color, I can do that so much easier. Like in parallel, it's just more flexible for the way I like to mix. But again, I ain't go too crazy with the automation here. Usually I do a lot more, but there's that. And then I'll do automation on these buses. Let's see if I did on the clap and the snare. So in the post areas, I
Wind up your body now, broke out, girl. Wind up your body now. Wind up your body now. Wind up your body now.
don't know, what did I do here? Oh, there's this high gain situation that I've automated apparently.
Wind up your body now.
I don't know.
Face. All I ever wanted was to taste. Left and right.
Is there a snare even in those sections? Like maybe right here? Okay, yeah. So like in these sections where there's a snare on this area, the snare gets a little brighter basically. And that just again adds a little more energy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, right here, my bad. On these two situations. So on the lead vocals, there's something automated. What is that? I'm not sure. Oh, it's volume. So on the first hook, the vocals are a little bit louder. Just a little bit. It's 0.5, 0.2, so 0.3 dB. A little bit louder in these sections. And right here, it's 0.4 dB louder on the last hook. And then right here, it's even a little bit more grit with the, we talked about that earlier with the Harrison 32 Classic Channel Strip. The grit increases from 46% to 51% in the hooks. So again, just adding a little bit more energy in those hooks subtly like that. That's it. So now we'll play it from top to bottom, start to finish.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
Wind up your body now. Broke out, girl. Wind up your body now. Wind up your body now. Wind up your body now. Wind up. Broke out, girl.
I can't deny this wave, I can't feel my face. All I ever wanted was to taste. Left and right to the base, cause it's not every day. Enjoyment day, okay. Fresh like salad, moving like badass. Shorty got vibes, she a party starter. She make them all gather, shaking that she shaking like maracas.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
Your body now, wind up your body now, wind up your body now, wind up, broke out, girl.
You say about come true, location on, come true, don't take too long, don't say too much, man, I'm way too gone. Broke it down, respect my song. Fresh like salad, moving like badass. Shorty got vibes, she a party starter. She make them all gather, shaking that she shaking like maracas.
Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Just text me, don't call me. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Left foot, right foot, so saucy. I'm busy, I'm sorry.
That's it. That's the mix, y'all.